Good afternoon. Today, I'm going to talk about my business research proposal, Mind the Gap. The presentation will explain the influence of research philosophy on the research strategy, the research topic, the aims and objectives. Reference sources from my literature review have been used to explain the result and outcomes from current expert knowledge that justify the decision to go ahead with the research. Finally, the implication of intended research will be explained and the value it will add to existing bank of knowledge. In deciding on the research question, the Russian doll principle was used. Each doll contains a smaller one, and this idea was useful. The overall topic was oil and gas management. The focus was then narrowed down to HR training and employment. And then finally to postgraduate training and employability. Results from the critical analysis of the literature review influence the hypothesis, which is there is an education skills and experience gap between postgraduate training in oil and gas management and industry requirements in management soft skills and experience. This is how I came up with the title, Mind the Gap. Soft skills training was specifically targeted because there are skills that every manager needs. This research is not centered on the engineering or scientific skills. The next step was to develop the research aim, the research question, and objective, which are listed on the poster. Considering research philosophy, the first category is ontology, which look at the attitudes and opinion that may influence the research. As postgraduate student in oil and gas management, I clearly have a strong interest. It will be important to remain objective in my analysis. The second major consideration is epistemology. This is consider how the information should be acquired and interpreted. The research will use primary sources from online survey and secondary sources from expert opinion and company websites. The third major consideration is axiology. To clarify the purpose of my research. This research will test the hypothesis by looking at the relationship between two variables. So, the research strategy will be an investigation on the relationship between two variables. The principal research type will be pragmatic, and the research methods will decide on which statistical test to use, the design of the survey, and a suitable method for collection of data. The first of the variables under investigation is graduate and postgraduate education in oil and gas management. Quantitative data will come from a sample of 50 postgraduate courses and their soft skills training. Qualitative data come from the results from an online survey to a random sample of postgraduate students. The second variable will be management training and HR policy in industry. Secondary sources from a sample of 10 major oil and gas companies will provide the data. Quantitative data will come from various employment statistics. Qualitative analysis come from job description and person requirements in advertised posts. Moving on to discuss methodology and methods, my research will be a mixed method design. The most relevant approach is pragmatism. Pragmatism is time and cost effective, and my research will take place over a 10-week period with the little or no budget. Pragmatism allows for a mixture of analysis methods and data types which perfectly suit the study. At this point, I should like to mention research ethics. Data collection method must ensure confidentiality. They must be objective. The design and delivery of the survey is crucial in this respect. Selecting the student sample requires as a sampling plan. The process will be multi-stage sampling. Traditional random sampling techniques will be used to each stage of the process. The literature review covers more than 40 articles and expert opinions. Critical analysis of my sources reveals support for my hypothesis with also some limitations. It is true that this article used other industries and they do not focus on soft skills. Also, the sample selection process is not fully explained. Nevertheless, the outcome offers some supporting evidence from my hypothesis. The implication of these outcomes are important for HR and industry in general, but they can be very significant for oil and gas industry as it is adapts to sustainability challenges. From the outcome study, it is clear that postgraduate response to training is not consistent. The performance of an organization is linked to the quality of a training. Will prepare candidates, make a training cost effective. The survey will give feedback on the expectation of current postgraduate students and how realistic they are. Recommendations were found for better collaboration between industry and academia, with the university as a training providers to, to generate tailored programs. This is research study will provide evidence that such as collaboration is necessary and would be advantageous. The implications of the research are listed here. A better collaboration between university courses providers and industry requirement and HR could produce postgraduate candidates better able to integrate into the work environment. This would reduce training costs for the industry. A student would have a better chance of being successfully required. Universities would benefit from enhanced reputation and attractiveness to future students. If the research supports the hypothesis, universities may need to reform the course content to be more relevant. That concludes the presentation. The reference sources used are listed on the poster. Thank you very much.